Let's get a photo so that it's not just me and the girl standing in front of the truck. I mean, nothing against you and me and the girl standing in front of the truck, but there we go. I need to get another photo for it. Another picture. Does this do mid-roll? I don't think it does mid-roll. Could be wrong. I hope it doesn't do mid-roll. I think I am live now. Let me do some double checking. Looks like I am live. Things are popping up. Where'd that blue box go? Not sure. Turn the phone on vibrator. There we go. What is up, Milk Power? What's up, Morgan? How is everyone this evening? It is Saturday night. The old Saturday night happens. A lot of times I jump on here on Saturday night. Most times I jump on here on Saturday night, or try to at least. I do my very best. Morgan, I don't believe I've ever seen you on one of these before. What is happening? Make sure everything's still running. Well, it's always a good weekend when you're off. Are you off because of the 4th of July, or are you just off because it's just your weekend to be off? Because here in, a little over 24 hours, I will be bringing myself into work to work on the 4th of July. Which is something that so many people that don't work in the medical profession don't understand. I think that like the food industry would understand too, because they do a lot of work. Especially like Waffle House. Waffle House, they're always there. Somebody is at least. But glad that you're off this weekend. Well, glad that you're here, and thank you for watching my regular videos. And I am also off every other weekend, so we might be off on the same weekends because I did not work. I don't work this weekend, but next weekend I do work. I still do my lives on Saturday, just really tired. When I do my lives on the Saturdays that I work, I am not feeling the best. I'm always quite tired. We also happen to have a pretty big storm going on right now. So hopefully the internet stays connected and you guys don't hear too many booms and bangs going on in the background. If you do, it is not the fireworks from my crazy neighbors. It will be the storm that is a brewing. Had some big old lightning bolts coming out of it. It seems to be fairly localized as well. It doesn't seem to be very widespread, which is strange. But thank you for joining tonight, Morgan. Just take me a quick look at the weather. Let's see how much more of this storm I've got to go through. Looks like it'll be with me all night. Heavy storm continues, it says. It says it'll end at about 12:45. Morgan, what area are you working in? What area is your employment? I guess that's the best way to say it. like I myself am in substance abuse. Let me see if I can do this. Change my screen around a little bit. I want to do like that. And like that. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Excuse me. That looks pretty good right there. Make sure my connection still looks good, which I think it does. It says excellent. But Morgan, since this is your first time, we typically just get on here and chat about everything or anything, whatever it may be. And I was supposed to look into StreamYard so that I could do like a multi-chat. The problem is I got lazy and did not do any research on it. I don't know if lazy is the right word. Busy, I would say. When my kids are in school, I've actually got like more time during the day because like I get off work and they still at school, so I could do a little bit of research. During summertime, I get off work, they already at the house, so there ain't no research time. They already here. They ready to be fed or something. Play, be fed, something like that. So there was no StreamYard research done. Unfortunate, I know. Because I do think that the multi-chat would have been pretty cool. It would have been a cool thing to have. I just didn't get a chance to look into it very much. Excuse me. But maybe one day. Maybe one day, because it is what it is. Where's that? Let's see what we got going on here. I was about to do something, and I have already forgot what I was about to do. My brain just does not like to cooperate with me. Don't think that's what I needed to do. Went to my absolute favorite store this weekend, earlier today. Harbor Freight. If y'all ain't got no Harbor Freight in your neighborhood or ain't never been to Harbor Freight, you ought to check it out. That place is awesome. I absolutely love the old Harbor Freight. If I go in there, I need to take cash, and I need to not have a lot of it on me. I buy up everything I see. It is the greatest store ever. agree or disagree. I believe I could blow a whole paycheck in there in just a few minutes. Excuse me. My neighbor right next door to me give me some tires and rims for my truck. Just give them to me. I asked him if he wanted any money for it, and he said no. Just flat out, give me tires and rims. I was like, dang, brand new tires and rims. He's got a race car. He said that he bought them to fit the race car, but they don't fit. Excuse me. Because he wanted to, I guess he wanted to drive the car down the road or something. Said his wheels and tires didn't fit his race car, so just give me the dang tires. They fit my truck. Bolted right up. I was like, dang, that's pretty cool, man. Didn't even want no money in return. I hope that like one day he's not like, oh, I'm stuck in the mud, or I gotta have my driveway shoveled, or something like that, and starts wanting me to do stuff like that. I kind of thought about that whenever he was asking me if I wanted them. That sort of like quid pro quo. Like, hey, I gave you some tires and rims for that truck, Now you got to do something for me. I did think that in the back of my mind, which is kind of bad, because it's like people can't do nothing good for other people no more. But, probably, it's probably not like that. But, at the same time, it's like, dang. Or if I ever have like a tree blow over, he's got a pool. Like a tree knock a limb down in his pool or something like that, he'd be like, you gotta clean this thing up. You better clean my pool up or something, And I'd be like, dang. I know that I shouldn't have took them rims and tires. I mean, it's kind of bad to be like that, but at the same time, you're like, I guess you kind of got to. I don't know. Nowadays. I don't know if anybody else feels like that sometimes or not, but I know I do at times. I feel like somebody's gonna want something just for doing something else. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not even really that tired. I just got the yawns. Which ain't no good. Can't have them old yawns. And things get contagious. And then where there's one, there's more. Oops. There we go. So when the neighbor come over, I was listening to the race, and I had zip tied a Bluetooth speaker to my mower, because I got an electric mower. And I zip tied a Bluetooth speaker to the electric mower so I could hear the race going on. And I couldn't get it to turn down when he was trying to give me them rims and tires. I was like, dang, man, hold on. Let me try to get this turned down, man. Because it was loud too. I'm sure he heard it. I thought he was telling me to turn it down. But he was giving me them rims and tires. Like, dang, hold on, man. Hold on. I can't, hold on. Can't figure this Bluetooth speaker out. I can get it turned on. I just can't get it turned down. And then, he was cool about it though. But he wasn't upset at me or nothing. Thought I was ruining his pool experience or something. Cause he's out there cleaning his pool. Ain't got no fence around it. I ain't gonna rat him out, but here in North Carolina, you gotta have a fence around your pool. It's like an insurance thing, where you gotta have a structure, like a gate or something. You have to have a structure that hinders entry, I guess is the way to put it. But he ain't got none of that mess. Insurance ever catch a man, they make you tear it down. My uncle, he had a pool like that. They made his insurance come over to his house and made him tear it down. So they took it down, the insurance took pictures of it, and they put it right back up. Had like a 4 foot above ground pool. It wasn't even like one of them blow up ones either. It was like a legit pool. And then the insurance told him, take it down. So he took it down. I bet it wasn't down two whole weeks. You know, he pretty much just let insurance know that it was down. And then after that, he put that jugger right back up. He said, I ain't listening to what y'all got to say. I'm jumping in that jugger on a hot day. Ooh. Look like it dropped connection down for just a second. Looks like we're back on. Excuse me. Looks like we have rejoined the intranet. The ARPANET. Good old ARPANET. That was the first name for it. Not sure how you spell that. That storm is rolling. Coming in hard. Sure is. Let me see here. Come on, Peter. What are you doing to me? What are you doing with my life? Ooh. I doggone rattled the windows. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing this wrong. How many days are in April? 31, I think. January, February, and March. Well, 30 in April. Excuse me. Another thing I did not look into, which I need to look into, is Streambeats, so that I can put some music in the background. Have a little bit of killer tunes in the background. They call it royalty free. Royalty free or copyright free or public domain or something like that. I think any of those answers are the same. $33, the oldest new CNA ever. So when I was coming up through nursing school in 2008. I don't know if you remember. You're 33, so you probably do remember the 2008 economic crisis. So I was coming up through nursing school in 2008, and there were 50-year-old people in my CNA program. I mean, there was a woman in there that had grandchildren. She did the books for like corporate KFC, and lost her job, went to go be a CNA. She had to do something. I can't imagine what she made doing, the books for corporate KFC, but I imagine it was a lot more than the $8 an hour that we were making when we got out of there. How long ago was that? 14 years ago. So you were 19. So yeah, I'm sure you probably do remember that. But yeah, when I was coming up through nursing school, there was plenty of us that were joined the Army. Okay, yeah. So you remember '08? Yeah. I worked for Chevrolet in '08. From '06 to '08, I worked for Chevrolet. And then September of '08, I lost my job. And then I had to go back to CNA. Or I didn't have to go back to CNA school, but went to community college to be a CNA. It was a hard year, man. But yeah, there were plenty of people that were there that were over 33. I wasn't the youngest, but I was nowhere near the oldest. I was 20. I think I graduated at 29. 28 or 29 is when I graduated. So that means I started at like 26. If my timeline is correct. In any case, thank you for your service. Going in the Army and doing all that, doing your time, your service. Your time, I don't want to make it sound like it was, you were incarcerated. But thank you for your service. I did not get to go into the military. I did do my ASVAB. That was as far as I made it. As far as I got. I was going to go into the Air Force, and ended up just, life happened. Did my ASVAB, and that's really as far as I got. I didn't do my MEPS or anything like that. All I did was the ASVAB. From time to time, because I think I'm still young enough to join the Air Force. I think I've done aged out of everything else, but I think I can still join the Air Force at my age. And from time to time, I'll bug my wife and I'll tell her, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the Air Force." She'll say, "Go." Tell her I'm going to basic. I'm gonna join the Air Force. Of course, at my age, I think two things would happen. One, I don't think that they would take me because I'm just too old. Or two, I think that they would go ahead and be like, "All right, since you're this age, you're in charge of all these people." I'm like, I don't know what to do with all this. These guys have been in there. Because I think that they try to make the older people's officers. But I would not want to do that. But dang, I think I slept wrong last night. My back and neck's hurting me. I know when I was a new CNA, there was a lot of things that I did not understand. Went to basic with a 39-year-old math teacher. That'd be pretty cool. I hope that the 39-year-old math teacher made it through basic pretty good. If you went to if I was to go to basic, you'd be going to basic with the 39-year-old nurse. 39-year-old terrible nurse. I'm not 39, but he was cool. He probably had life experiences too. I hope he was going reserve. I hope he wasn't doing, active duty as a 39-year-old math teacher. I had a history teacher that was reserve. And then 2001 happened. Mr. Reap. Mr. Reap was his name. He was there. I feel like he was a Ranger, and then he went, not active duty. He went, I can't even think of the name. Reserve. He went reserve. And then, September 11th happened, and he coached me for 1 year in track in high school, and then 9/11 happened, and then we didn't see him again for like 2 more years. He came back to school, but I had done graduated when he came back after his 2 years. I seen him when my sister, she's a year behind me, I seen him when I went to a track meet for her. But yeah, it sucked to have Reap go, man. He was pretty cool. He was making us do like boot camp drills, and I was like, this ain't boot camp. You can't do this mess. And he says something like, we ain't leaving till somebody's throwing up. I, of course, was always the first one to throw up, because if I get too hot, it's just automatic. And that was the end of it. Good old Reap. He was pretty cool old dude. But I was gonna say something about being a CNA, and I cannot remember what it was now. Being at 33 though, you should be pretty good at figuring out, hey, I need to manage my time pretty well as a CNA. You may hurt more, when you lift or pull somebody for the first time, as opposed to being 23 or 18, 19. But time management, you'll probably be able to pick up just boom, boom, boom a lot quicker than the younger crowd. I wasn't straight out of high school, but I was still an idiot at 26, 20. I'm just gonna say 26. I was an idiot at 26 and couldn't figure out how to do time management. It wasn't, I want to say it was like when I had kids. I was 26 when I had kids. That's when I was like, wow, now I can actually finally figure out how to do this time management deal. Because that was not an easy task for me to grasp mentally. That was something I found difficult. That's something I found more difficult than really task, basic tasks like moving, turning, vitals, things like that. I had a hard time figuring out when to report what. Like if a nurse says, hey, go ahead and get a blood pressure on patient down in hall 123, and you go get a blood pressure, and it's something like 180/90, I'd be like, oh, well, they're breathing walkie-talkie, so, there's nothing for me to report, when in reality, that mess needed to be called in. But I just didn't have the knowledge to be like, oh, just because they're breathing walkie-talkie doesn't mean that everything's A-okay with a blood pressure of 180/90. That's probably why the nurse told me to go get that blood pressure. And so there's a couple times where I didn't report things like that I really should have. And then time management, and when to report what sort of came with experience. And then time management sort of came with experience also, I guess. But I don't know. It wasn't like I had a hard time figuring out time management as a CNA, but then when I became a nurse, it's like the experience that I had learning time management as a CNA really helped me when I became a nurse. And it was just a lot easier. I still had to learn it because it was just a different career path, but it became easier. It wasn't a whole new skill. It was just, a different type of time management, I should say. It was, and even then, I had to figure out how to create that master sheet, to truly get it. I don't use it anymore. What I do though, what I still do to this day, is if there's ever a change in either policies or a change that I need to be aware of, maybe not at all times, but that I need to make myself aware of, I will hang it up somewhere. I'll take a note of it and hang it up at my station, or there's a like a cork board, like a bulletin board sort of. I'll hang it up there and keep note of it. I can't tell you how many times nurses that I work with have come up to me or my station or whatever it may be and been like, hey, what's the new policy for this? Hey, what's the phone number for that doc? Hey, what's the, I'm lost with this type of thing or whatever it is. And I've got the, of course it's not really organized. It's just a big spread out mess of notes and stuff. But, people still come over there and take a look. Cause it's, something I learned early in my nursing career at the nursing home was always take notes, not for charting purposes, but always take notes for yourself to sort of fall back on, whenever you have to, whenever you get to the point where you're stuck and you don't know what to do and you're like, oh, one time I did this task. How did I do this task? I can, if the situation arises where it's a task I've done like one time, or, a policy I've done like one time or something, I can go back to my notes and say, hey, that's me looking at my notes. Hey, this step, that step, this step, this is how you do that. So taking notes and keeping them, not just for charting purposes, that's definitely helped a lot too. And that's something I picked up as a nurse, not as a CNA. Excuse me. Operation Hydration. I learned that from a travel nurse, to take notes of everything. It was my very first day on a med pass all by myself as a new grad. And it was supposed to be done at like 9. It was done at like 1. Oh, I did terrible. She was like, is that your first big boy med pass? I said, yes. She was like, hard when you're young, ain't it? And she's like, here's what you need to do, son. Slid me over a pamphlet, not a pamphlet, but like a blank sheet. Take notes of everything. I will. And it's helped out tremendously. Because I can't remember everything. I try to. Excuse me. Definitely try to remember everything. I can't. Sorry, I got something rubbing me in my chair. Trying to figure out what it is. something poking and jabbing me. What I used to do is I'd keep a piece of printer paper with me and fold it up. I've quit doing that. Now I carry the, what do they call them? The sticky notes, the pads. The pads are about that big, and you flip through them. I think they're called sticky notes now. I carry those with me. Typically, I have about 2 packs at all times. I like them old sticky notes. What I wish they did is I wish that you could unstick them and then stick them again, and they would not fall off. They'd be just as sticky as they were, but they tend to lose the backing, like the glue, the tape, whatever the stickiness is that's on them. They tend to lose that. I don't like that. But I'm sure that it would be more expensive if they had to keep it around. Cost savings and whatnot. I think that they have a name. Are they Scotch brand? Something like that. I don't know. Like if they could have painter's tape, that blue tape on the back of every note, so you could stick it, re-stick it, stick it, and re-stick it. Oh, I don't quite like the way it looks right there. And then re-stick it again. I'm sure that would be tremendously expensive. There it goes again. I don't know if it's picking up through the microphone. That is not fireworks. Oh, shoot. I just did something there. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that either. Oh, well. No, I'm right. So, since you was in the Army, did you get to go anywhere fun? And by fun, I don't mean like an active war zone. I mean like, my sister, she got stationed at Stuttgart, Germany. That's a pretty cool place. I didn't get to go visit her, but, it sounded like a cool place. She's also been stationed at not cool places. South Korea. That's pretty cool. Her husband, my sister's husband, he went to Korea, South Korea. He was part of the people that was there for the Olympics. He was also in Rio. Was it Rio? Yeah, he was in Rio also for the, was that 14 Summer Olympics? Yeah. Because we had the Winter Olympics this year, I think, right? And they're 2 years apart. I think it was there in, because 2020 was Tokyo, but it was really like 2021. So, 16 he was in Rio. And then 18 he was in South Korea for the Olympics. Both sets. He brought the girls back, my kids. He brought them back stuffed animals of the people the mascots. Little mascot people. So my kids have mascot people from Rio and mascot people from Korea. And one of my children is special needs, and so he brings her the Special Olympics girl too, the Special Olympics mascot. So we have both sets, the regular Olympics and is it called Paralympics? I think Paralympics. So we have the Olympics and the Paralympics mascots from Rio and not Sochi, wherever it was in South Korea. I can't remember the name at this moment in time. But I don't think he's going to get to go to any more of them. He did not go to Japan, so I think that those are his days of doing that are done. Was it cold in South Korea? It was cold looking at it on the TV on the Olympics. My grandfather was stationed in Korea, but it was probably a completely different atmosphere between the both of y'all's times there. My grandfather said when he was in Korea, the ocean froze. Never heard of the ocean freezing. You know, it's salt water. Korea is very cold. I watched Squid Game. They were never dressed in summer clothes. In that show. So I can imagine Korea is very cold climate. Excuse me. Korea's got some cool stuff though. You know, Korea, they just had Canada just had like a truckers protest. Well, dang on, Korea did too, over fuel prices. They said they was upset with the fuel prices in Korea, which, our fuel prices have gone up a lot, but in Korea, their fuel prices gone up and they ain't making no profit. So the dang trucks shut down. I don't know if it's as elaborate as Canada's, where they blocked off the capital. But and there, of course, one in Canada was over the COVID. But I don't know if Korea did one that was just as elaborate, or if they just quit moving. But I didn't think it would be like that over there. But I guess it could be. I do not know Korean culture very well. I don't know Canadian culture very well either, having never been in either place. But so Korea is very cold. Yeah, I bet they are. And if I'm not mistaken, they're they pay by the liter, and almost 4 liters makes a gallon. So they're paying $2 a liter. That's $8 a gallon. I imagine it is. And they don't have the space either. Like, they can't just, like how we have gas stations here everywhere. I don't know that they could just do that, because you have to have room for other things, agriculture and stuff like that. You can't just have a gas station everywhere you go. I like the K-pop though. I'm not like huge into the K-pop, but my oldest has turned me on to the K-pop. I like watching their little music videos and stuff. They're pretty strange, but they're probably saying bad words that I don't need to hear. But my oldest has got me on to that, and she says she doesn't know what they're saying. So I don't know if she does or doesn't know what they're saying on them K-pop songs. Take a train to any city. So public transport is amazing, apparently. We just don't... I don't know if people don't want to do it or what. But we do not have very good public transport here in America. Here in the States, we just do not have very good public transport. In like big cities they do. New York, Chicago, LA. But, if I was to go to biggest city near me, Winston, there's a bus station, but it's not going to take me, I don't even know if it'll take me to Greensboro or Asheville or, anywhere like that. I don't think it would. High speed rail would be pretty cool to ride though. Them things will do, I've heard they'll do like 300 mile an hour. Do you feel the G-force of the high-speed rail? Does it sit you back in your seat and you're just struggling to move? I'm thinking of like right when a plane takes off, like right as it leaves the ground. Do you feel that sort of G-force like all the time? If you were to be standing up in the aisle, would you just like just tumble over, land upon your face? Ooh, it look like that hitting the backyard. Big old thunder booms going on all around. Well, I think I need to get rid of this person. Let's go ahead and report them. There we go. Report. All right. Yeah, the old spam bot got me. Let me try to take all that stuff out of there. Hope I got it. What a name. Naked HD XYZ. And it says, stop jerking. Cheaper than Tinder. Is Tinder free? I have no idea. I've never been on Tinder. I don't know. I work with people that are on Tinder. I think it's free. I think so. I don't know. So you don't feel the G-forces all the time. Man, I hate that. I wish you felt the G-forces all the time. Yeah, old spam bot. Of course, I don't think you could. I don't think you could feel the G forces at all times because you got people going to work and stuff. They don't want to show up to work in their suit and it's all like, stuck to them. They got to go through the day looking like that. So. Good old spam bot. I've had spam bots show up in like comments of regular videos. I've never had a spam bot show up in the live chat before. That was definitely a first. Not exactly sure what happened there. The good old spam bot. The worst one that I remember, or at least that I was made aware of, because a lot of times YouTube takes them out, was this like it looked like a couple, and they would like comment on your videos and stuff, and they'd say things like, "Come check out our vlog from Madrid. Look at our Barcelona trip," and things like that. But they would say like huge essays. And it would be, if you were to click on the channel that left the comment or whatever, they would have a video of that. But I mean, they had huge essays that were, you're like, why in the world did you write all this? I'm sure it was they wrote one generic huge essay and then would send it out to various channels. And they would leave comments on like every time you had to upload a video, they would leave a comment like within like 20 minutes. Finally, I guess YouTube either shut it down or they quit or something. But there were probably half dozen, if not more, comments that they would leave. Be aggravating. You'd be like, "Oh, I got a notification. I think I bet it's somebody wanting something." No, somebody wants you to watch their vlog from Madrid or Barcelona or wherever it may be. Things like that. They would get aggravating. So, back to my curiosity, really. Do you have a GI Bill? Like, are you GI Bill eligible? I know you said you're 33 as the oldest new CNA at 33, but do you have the GI Bill? Are you GI Bill eligible? Because you could go do things like get your BSN and then go straight into like nurse management, stuff like that, using the GI Bill. You might even be able to go to like ECPI, like a fast track program with the GI Bill. And that GI Bill does pretty good. Ooh. I might have picked up on screen there. Because the 4-year degrees I mean, ADN and a BSN, there's really no difference. Once you're at work, one of you went to school for 2 years, one of you went to school for 4 years. But, when it comes to management and things like that, they look for that BSN. And if you had that GI Bill, that thing help out a tremendous amount in, getting your degrees. What am I doing? I was about to do something. I've lost my train of thought. Oh well. There's also like reimbursement programs too, which is sort of what I did. Mm-mm. Yep, I cannot remember. Mm. Hmm. I will say one thing with the CNAs, they just don't get paid enough. I don't even know that, I don't know what the cost of living is here recently. Like the actual cost of survival. But it just seems like, you could do it as like a single person as a CNA. But if you're like married or have a child or any sort of dependent, I don't, it'd be next to impossible to make it as a CNA in this day and time. Because locally, you're not getting paid much. You're actually getting paid less than like Walmart employees, grocery store employees, for a much harder job. Because I worked in a grocery store, and I've been a CNA, and I can tell you right now, I worked 20 times as hard as a CNA than I did as a grocery store employee. And it's like the cost of living is getting so bad, I don't even know if you can afford it. So I definitely would like to see CNA salaries get raised up, or the cost of living to go down, which we all know that's not going to happen. I always get a kick whenever they're saying something like, excuse me. When they're like, in 1980, a gallon of milk was like 30 cents. But once you add in the cost of inflation, it's really like $4. Or something like that. It's like $1's not $1. Or $1 won't be $1 in 20 years. But if you take $1 from, if you had a single dollar bill from 1950 and had the exact same dollar bill now, it's still $1. The price of inflation may have gone up substantially, but that single dollar, that piece of paper, is still $1. Just because it's from 1950 doesn't mean that it's any more valuable. Maybe 50's if 50 is not a special year, because I know something like pennies, they used to make them out of pure copper. I don't know the year range, because I don't know money as far as like collectible money. I don't know any of that very well, but if you were to take a copper penny versus a penny from today and take them to the store, like just a regular store, they're both 1 cent. The cost of inflation doesn't weigh on the penny. Now, if you were to sell it at some sort of auction, that's when that penny would go up. But so I always get a kick out of that whenever they say, once you weigh in for inflation, a gallon of milk was actually $4. I'm like, no, it was 30 cents. Because I could have used 3 dimes and paid for it. Those exact same 3 dimes are not worth as much. But it still says 30 cents on it. Oh. I know I've said it before, but my neck and my back hurting today. I think I slept wrong. Not feeling the best. I need, like, if they had one, like a creepy massaging chair that actually had hands that would do everything for you. You had like a hand that would come out and do everything for you. That'd be pretty cool. If it actually existed. It does not, but it would be creepy and weird if you had a hand or a chair with a bunch of hands in it. You'd have to be careful what you put in that chair. Like if you came home one day and put like a rifle in that chair for whatever reason, and them hands start going off, you can start shooting everything, putting holes in the ceiling. Be a terrible time. Nice, safe hand chair. What is up, Tun Tun? It is nice to see you today. So, I just saw that you had a new video of like a city tour, I'll call it. How far away were you from home? Or was that like a local place? It looked pretty cool. Also, follow up. How far away are the two places? Like, are they? Oh, 20 miles. Oh, okay. Or 20 minutes. I'm sorry, 20 minutes. Okay, that's pretty cool. And so now, how much further, longer do you have in nursing school? Have you completed it yet? Have you completed your clinicals? Preceptorship. I knew it wasn't called clinicals, but I couldn't remember what it was called. Preceptorship next Friday, and then you will be all done. Dang. And then do you take the I guess the Canadian NCLEX? National Board Exam. Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. How do you have to wait? Like I had to wait a whole month between graduation and taking my NCLEX. How long do you have to wait between the end of your preceptorship before taking your board exam? Like, can you do it like the next day, or do you got to wait like 30 days? Because I had to be released, what's called released from, man, it took me a month to get released. The exam format changes this year. Gotcha. So I already knew before school ended how long it was before I could get released. I guess it's a little different. They don't let y'all know. So they're changing it from. So what are they changing it to? Are they answer all the above or all that apply? What is up, Queen? Yeah, that's no fun. The select all that apply questions are terrible. I also hate select all that apply questions. They are miserable. Because it could be like, one of them's right, all of them's right, none of them's right. Which one's the most right? Ugh, it's like they're trying to get you with that. Well, I thought I helped, but I think I just hurt. My cause there. So I don't think you get a 0. So the NCLEX was like weighted based, I guess is the best way to put it. Oh yeah, you gotta memorize lab values and whatnot. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But the it used to be like if you got like a harder question than average right, you would like move up a category. And so I'm wondering if like you get like some of your all that apply right, you get a little bit of credit, or if you get like less than average, you get like no credit. But I of course am not a NCLEX writer. I don't write the test. I don't do anything like that. But still, I am so glad that I did not have select all that apply, or I had them, but my complete exam was not select all that apply, because that would have been miserable. I hated that. I hated those select all that applies. Ooh. They are miserable. No fun at all. Queen, did you get your Whataburger after last time? You're allowed to start working even before you take the exam. Or before you pass the exam, I should say. Oh, well, that's terrible. I'm sorry you did not get your Whataburger. So, Ton, we used to have a program to where you could work before you took your exam, and it was called a graduate nurse. You were not an RN, you were not an LPN or LVN. You were a graduate nurse. And so you couldn't take like, you couldn't do like all the tasks, but you could do like some of the tasks. But they got rid of that here. We no longer have graduate nurse. We did, but we no longer have graduate nurse. So I guess it's good. I don't know. I mean, the graduate nurse is all right because you can do, you could do tasks. You could at least help. Maybe your acuity would be down, but you were at least a body on the floor. So, it did at least help. Hold on. All those just came in at once. Hold on. Graduate nurse. You have an interview next week. Nice. Wait, you cannot attend the interview? Like, if you don't attend the interview, you don't get the job, right? If you don't want the job, just don't take the job. However, got an Olive Garden salad. That's what's up. Unlimited salad and breadsticks. That's what's up. Oh, Olive Garden. Anyways, I would go on the interview just for the experience. Just for the knowledge of knowing, hey, what's going to be on my next interview? Even if it's a job you already know, hey, I'm not going to take this job. I already know I'm not going to take this job, but let me go ahead and go on this interview just in case. Like, I went on one interview for a pediatric doctor's office, knowing they probably were not going to hire me. And then I shadowed a nurse for a day. It was a couple hours. At the same pediatric office. And, it was helpful. Definitely helpful. A big hospital. Yeah, I think if you don't go to the interview, you'll get a bad record. You'll get a worse record than if you bomb the interview. Because I think not showing up is worse than showing up and being bad. I would say. But yeah, a big hospital. That's pretty cool though. Pretty cool going for an interview at a big hospital. Excuse me. I went to an interview for a big hospital and it went well, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool. Maybe I could work here. And then I left the interview, and I want to say it was either Thursday or Friday. I left the interview, and it was like 5 o'clock. And it was in a big city. It was in Greensboro. And Greensboro's like an hour from here. And so I left in 5 o'clock traffic. And I was like, dang, I don't ever want to work in Greensboro. I was like, that was miserable. I don't want to do this again. That's, something you get with them large hospital systems, because a lot of them are, a lot of those large hospital systems are in big cities. What does it say? Have you had a conflict with a coworker and it never seemed to go back to normal? Yes. Doing a preceptorship at a rehab center. If you like the rehab center, go for the rehab center. It'd be pretty cool. Let me talk about my conflict I have had with a coworker. That's pretty cool with the rehab center. So I had a conflict that was ongoing for years. I'm actually still there. The person I had a conflict with has transferred out. Still same company. Just a different unit. We were both able to do the job. We could do the job around each other. We did not like each other. We could communicate if need be. And we just did not like each other. We were oil and water. And I will say that it was both parties involved, me and them. We were not a good match. Me and this coworker. One time I got irate that this wasn't the whole issue, but this was somewhat of it. We had already had conflicts. Me and this other individual had already had conflicts, and then they decided that they no longer wanted to work Fridays. And so they had every Friday off, and I talked very badly about them. I don't even want to say I spread rumors, but I would openly make terrible comments about this individual not being at work on Fridays. Because everybody knows you got to work Friday. I mean, we're nurses. And that created more drama. We didn't look at each other. In front of patients, we could communicate, and that was really the best that we could do. Sometimes people just do not get along, and me and this individual were those two people that just could not get along. And like I said, it lasted for years, for several years. I've been in my position for 7 years, and probably 4 of them involved conflict with that coworker. That was just ongoing. And we never, I think that we both respected each other enough to know that we still had to do a job. Were we going to go hang out after work? Absolutely not. But we still respected each other enough to know, we had to function through the day. And so we would interact only when we had to. Only when we had to. So it does suck to have those conflicts. It does suck to have a conflict with a coworker and No, ours never went to normal. We were never a normal working peoples. We never were. And so, yeah, I definitely have. Like I said, it lasted like 4 years until they transferred out. It would probably still be going on if we still worked together, believe it or not. And, you would hear like other nurses would come up to me and like, oh, I heard that they said that you were a such and such and such and such. And then I would try to do my very best to not be like, yeah, well, they're a, such and such and such and such. I would typically, when I heard things like that, I would try to just like walk away. Like, oh, okay, let me walk myself out of here. Let me get myself out of the situation. So, yeah, it sucks, and yeah, it happens. But yeah, ton. Yeah, you gotta communicate if necessary. So, is it best to leave or try to stay with the coworker? The problem that we had, and this is probably part of our biggest issue between the two of us, the problem that we had with me and my coworker is we were the two we had the most experience, we had the most credentials, we were the two like leads. Are you serious? How are you back again? Go away. I thought I reported you already. Put user in timeout. Go away. Bro, thank you. That thing came back up again. Anyways, where was I at? Talking about my coworker. We had to stay together to function. Like the unit had to function and we had to stay together. So it was hard. It all depends on the situation if it's best to leave or best to try to stay. You still have to function. The unit still has to function. Don't change who you are, though, just to do it, because you're going to end up being unhappy and you're going to end up being burnt out, and it's going to be terrible. And then what's going to make it worse is if you like go to your management for every little thing that individual does. That would make it worse. Trust me, I know. So it depends on the unit. Is it best for the unit if you stay together, or is it best if you leave? For your personal health, that's probably best if you leave. But can you afford it? Will you be able to function in life? Things like that. It may be best to stay. All depends on your situation. And yes, you cannot change them. I don't necessarily know you should join them. If you can't change them, I don't think you should join them. I don't think you should, but I think you should just function. What is it they call those marriages? Loveless marriages, when you're together for the kids. Yeah, if you're together for the children, that's sort of what that is. There we go. Inflation in the U.S. is ridiculous right now. Just for reference, so I did the ordering on my unit, And something that I used to order, I order it every time I order this one thing. It cost $39 up until like, let's just say March. Now it's $53. There was no transition. 39 to 53. It wasn't 39 to 45, 49, 50 to 53. It was just 39 to $53. Like, boom. From, in maybe a 2-week time span. So, yes, that's going crazy. Where you have to stay after shift because the next coworker called in sick. Oh. It doesn't happen a lot where I work now. It did happen a lot when I worked in the nursing home. To where I had to, I've gone in, when I was at the nursing home, I would go in at 6 a.m. and leave at 2200, 10 p.m. Excuse me. That happened a few times. I don't want to say a lot. I don't know what you want to call a lot. It happened enough times where my wife was not happy with me. But yeah, it has happened. And it gets aggravating, and it gets aggravating quickly. And yes, inflation has hit us, and yes, the pay has stayed the same. We do not get paid any more than we used to. We still get paid the exact same. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous how much inflation hit. Or how quick inflation hit. And I've heard some industries, not healthcare, I've heard some industries are beginning to lay people off. So the job market that we had, that was just screaming up is about to start tumbling down. Probably not healthcare, because healthcare is, excuse me, there's always jobs. There's always a need for nurses. I mean, we're in a massive shortage of nurses right now, so. Always a need for medical peoples. Rent an apartment. There's a line. What is apartment rent in Vancouver? Like, apartment rent. I don't know what apartment rent is here, but I have been told that it is hard to find an apartment that you can live in without having a roommate. Because, like, if I was to rent, this house that I live in right now, if I was to rent it out, it would probably be double what I pay for mortgage. $1,800. Phew. For a 1-bedroom. And Queen, I will be honest with you, I don't know where Courtney is right now. Courtney likes to go out after work. Courtney likes to work, and then I don't know if like her and people she works with go out. She'll just text me and say, "Hey, going out." So I don't know where she's at. I don't know. I guess I need to put a tracker on her car. One of them little bugs that like follows her around. I don't know where she is. She may tell us when she comes in here. I don't know. If she gets here before I before I'm done. I don't know. What is a bachelor suite? No bugs. If you want to rent a whole house with 3 or 4 bedrooms, like $3,000. That is expensive. And 519, you just came out of a week in the hospital. I hope that you worked at the hospital, but the way that I'm reading that, I don't think you did work at the hospital, and I hope everything's going good. You sleep next to the kitchen. Do you have a toilet? Like, do you have a bathroom in there at all? Is there anything, any place to potty? A week in the hospital. That is no bueno. No good. Some have the bathroom. Some you share the bathroom. Ugh. So that means like you'd have to wear like shoes to the shower. Unless you're not worried about what you're about to step in or on. If you have like a communal bathroom. Hope there's more than one toilet. More than one sink. When I was in college, we had a communal bathroom. It was always cold in there. Unless it was summertime. It was always, I was in Tennessee mountains, so it wasn't like hot, but it wasn't, wasn't too bad. Renting out a balcony. You can't live on a balcony. I hope it's like an enclosed, like a sunroom sort of thing. Especially in Canada. When I worked at the group home. They have good health insurance for employees. I'm so sorry. That took me like 4 tries to read that. I will say there has been one place that I've worked that had good health care for the employees. One single place. And it's actually it's the building I work in now. We got bought out. But when I very first started working where I work now was the best insurance I've ever had. And it was a private company. And they actually paid the insurance. Now, we didn't get paid nothing. The nurses, it was the least you'll ever make as a nurse working for that company. But they paid your insurance, and it was good insurance. It was full coverage, and the company covered it. I'm talking dental, vision, health, life. Like everything but auto. Like the company covered it. That's the only time I've ever had good health benefits as an employee. And then, of course, we got bought out. And now we have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we pay for it. I'm sure that the company does a little bit for it, but, not as much as they would. But I've never worked anywhere other than, when I very first started working for the company I work for now, that had good health care benefits. I think that the days of the good health care benefits coming to everybody are sort of over. You can pay for the premium plans. I pay for, like, if there's 3 tiers, there's top, middle, bottom. I pay for the bottom one only because that's what I can afford. Like, I couldn't function if I paid for the top tier for a family. It would cost so much out of my paycheck that I couldn't afford good healthcare benefits. They offer it. I just, I physically cannot pay for the good healthcare. I can't. It would be so much out of my check I couldn't function. But like I said, when I very first started working for my company, well, before we got bought out, that was the best healthcare I've ever had. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the employee or employer. None of them do. I worked for a big corporate hospital here in North Carolina. Y'all may or may not have heard of them, called Novant. Novant did not have any better benefits than anybody else. Novant, didn't. I worked for Bayada. Bayada's a national home healthcare chain. Bayada didn't have, the best healthcare either. So Sava, I worked for Sava. Sava didn't have very good benefits. I think they probably had the worst. Sava is Queen might have heard of Sava. Sava's based out of Houston. They're a national chain. They own a bunch of nursing homes. But yeah, none of them have really had any very good healthcare benefits, which is unfortunate. Kind of is what it is. Just unfortunate. I don't know why they don't have the best healthcare for anybody, especially people who work in healthcare. You would think they'd have, you'd think the people that work in healthcare would have the best healthcare, but it doesn't. It doesn't go that way. But it's part of it, I guess. I'm trying to think if I've ever worked for a non-medical company. Do I have a side hustle? My favorite side hustle is Amazon Mechanical Turk. Besides YouTube. They are my favorite side hustle. And they are my favorite side hustle because I do not have games on my phone. I took all my games off my phone, and any time that I would play a game on my phone, I would use that time, and I would just go ahead and do a Mechanical Turk hit is what they're called hits, HIT. And it could be like 9 cent here, but it takes you 30 seconds to make 9 cent, or something like that. So if there's ever a time where I'm sitting waiting on something at the doctor's office, or sitting in the car rider line for my kids, or whatever it is, I just jump on my phone. I just bust out a bunch of hits and make $2-3. So that is my side hustle, and I use that money to try to pay credit card debt down. What I'll do, I know you didn't ask this, but what I'll do is I will take my hit money, my Mechanical Turk money, every time I get paid on my Mechanical Turk, and it's never much, because I don't have the most time in the world, but let's say 1 week I make $6, because my goal is $1 a day. So let's say I make like $6 in 1 week. I'll take that $6 and I'll put it towards a credit card to try to, pay it down. Because if you can get it paid down before the interest rate kicks in, it'll lower your payments. So, I try to do that with my Mechanical Turk money, and that is my side hustle. I have been trying to get a nurse that I work with to let me cut down the bushes in her yard and try to make a bunch of money that way, because she apparently has a bunch of them, trying to make several $100 cutting down the bushes, but that has not panned out. But yes, Mechanical Turk. And also YouTube, of course. YouTube is a good side hustle if you can get the subscribers. You got to have the subscriber count to make it worth your while, really. I didn't do YouTube to be a side hustle though. I didn't do YouTube to be a main hustle. Believe it or not, the whole reason I even started YouTube was to decompress from work. Because I didn't feel like, I try not to take things home. I try not to take my day home with me. But what I would do is I would just talk to that camera, and it would, it'd be easy for me to just drive down the road, talk to the camera, and then it was super easy for me to do, and it helped me decompress from my day. And I quit driving while I make the videos because I had a patient, and he wasn't making YouTube videos. That's not what he was doing. But I had a patient that I literally spoke to. Alert-oriented walkie-talkie. Spoke to this individual. And said, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever it may be. Like 10 minutes later, they died in a car wreck. And so, I never saw that coming. This is a very healthy individual, a complete oriented, very logical individual, died in a car wreck. 10 minutes after I spoke to them, said, hey, I'll see you in, however many minutes. I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you, however long. And then they died. And so I quit driving while I make YouTube videos because of that. Not because, I was, not because YouTube is what killed them at all, but because I didn't want to have any sort of distractions, my way or somebody else's way. And so I quit driving, and so now I just do all my videos in the driveway or while stopped. And it still helps me decompress from work. But yeah, it definitely sucked when that happened. I actually took a break for, I don't think I took a whole month break, but I actually took a break after that happened. Cause I was like, dang. That was weird, Cause I've definitely had patients die before. I've been in codes. Excuse me. I've been in codes and all that. But I've never had a person that I that I didn't expect at the time to die. If that makes sense. So if you look at some of my earlier videos from a few years ago, I'm driving. I'm physically driving in them. But I quit it. I quit it after that happened. It was crazy. Crazy for me to sort of wrap my head around. But But yeah, I never did YouTube to become a side hustle. It certainly has, but that was never the main goal. Sorry to derail the conversation there on that one. Let's see. I wonder if I can figure out how long I took off after that. Let me check my... I'd have to go back a few years. My day today was pretty good. How was your day today, Queen? I want to hear about your day, and then I'll tell you what made my day pretty good. I'm still trying to find where I took my breaks. Mm-mm. There we go. Looks like I took about a 2-week break. That's about how long it was. Out of curiosity, I had to look. Pre-July. And a family union. So I gotta ask, what is the difference between a family union and a family reunion? Because I've never heard them not interchangeably before. Or are they interchangeably? If that makes sense. Still the same. I kind of figured as much. Now, you're in Texas. Are fireworks illegal? I'm sure some of y'all are probably like, oh, you're being crazy. Fireworks are illegal in North Carolina. No idea why. Fireworks are illegal here in North Carolina. You can do them, but like it has to be like a big event. Like, ballparks have them. Races have them. So certain concerts, I don't know. Do they have them at concerts? I don't know. They may or may not have them at concerts. It probably depends upon the venue. If the venue's big enough, they'll probably have them. But fireworks are illegal in North Carolina. But fireworks are legal in South Carolina. So what'll happen is a lot of people will drive to South Carolina, buy up a bunch of fireworks, and then go blow up something. And it is a misdemeanor if you are caught. In California, it varies by city. I could probably see that. I could imagine it's probably a fire hazard in California. Because there's not a lot of rain in California. Or I could be completely wrong, and it may not vary by city. Usually illegal in city limits in Texas. Sir Marks a lot. The entire state of North Carolina is illegal for fireworks. Except for, I think that the exception is, if you've ever seen Joe Dirt, snakes and sparklers. Because we'll sell a sparkler. Oh, they'll sell you a sparkler. But they will not sell you no firework. If you have enough land, a farm or something, you can do it without being caught, because ain't nobody gonna see it. But I don't know why they made it illegal. Does not know why. Homemade wooden fireworks stands. I work on the 4th, so I have no plans. And no, I honestly don't know what you're talking about. A homemade wooden fireworks stand. I have never seen a homemade wooden fireworks stand. No. We have like people selling vegetables and stuff. Like a homemade wooden stand. They sell vegetables and things like that. But I guess that's where you buy fireworks too. I don't know. It sounds pretty cool. But no, I don't know why. Shoot, y'all got me wanting to Google this. Let me Google this. Why are fireworks illegal in, apparently Illinois, Virginia, Colorado, and North Carolina pop up. Also, Hawaii pops up. Is fireworks illegal in North Carolina? Yes, fireworks are illegal in North Carolina. I've never seen these things. I don't know I have no idea what you're talking about. So this is my local news affiliate. And they say, do they say why? Legal in North Carolina. The legal fireworks in North Carolina. Sparklers, glowworms, or snakes, smoke bombs, and trick noisemakers. I don't know what a trick noisemaker is. Illegal if it flies up in the air and explodes, including firecrackers, bottle rockets, Roman candles, mortars, etc. Yeah, I don't know why fireworks are illegal in North Carolina. They just are. Anyways, my day was awesome today because I don't know. I post videos of it, or post videos in it and of it. I have my grandfather's old truck. He left it to me after he died. And I don't make my videos, I don't make it to where it publishes to my subscribers for a reason. So chances are a lot of my subscribers have not seen my truck. But my neighbor next door gave me wheels and tires that fit my truck. They look brand new. He just gave them to me. He said, hey, I used to have a truck just like that. I've got these wheels and tires from it. I'll give them to you. And he just gives them to me. I was like, awesome, man. That's pretty cool. So he just gives me these wheels and tires. And so that made the day awesome. It's pretty cool. Even though, I didn't have any wooden fireworks stands that somebody built in my yard. Maybe I should build one. I wonder, can you Amazon fireworks? Or do you think Amazon knows, like, hey, you're in North Carolina. That's illegal there. Which, makes no sense. So, now I'm so curious about these fireworks stands. Do you pay cash? Do you have to pay cash? Or is it sort of like you can take a penny, leave a penny? Like,
hi. I don't know if my pajamas are here.
They are.
Can you hand them to me?
Yeah.
I don't want to go across because then you can see my shirt.
Okay.
There's your shirt.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I bumped that. Here's your jummies. Mm-hmm. And Queen, if you're still here, Courtney has showed up. So you can inquire as to what events she took part in, whatever it is. Let me see. I'm going to Google a wooden fireworks stand. Oh, wait, that doesn't make sense. That's just like fake fireworks made out of wood. Fireworks stand trailer? Are they trailers? Oh, I gotcha. All right. That's just a trailer that was like a temporary, like a carnival, thing or fair. Something you'd see at the fair where you throw the ball in and win a prize. Something like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know that I would want a wooden fireworks stand, a temporary wooden fireworks stand. Maybe like like one of them railroad cars. Like the ones that they put on the back of tractor trailers and stuff. I think they're made out of metal. I think they are. I'd want one of them instead. A little bit, when they all go off. Maybe I have a little bit of time to get out before I burn down in it. Still sounds cool. Do you get the best stuff out of the wooden fireworks stands? Is that where the best stuff comes from? Like they're like, oh man, that one over there on Smith Drive. Yeah, you gotta check that one out. They got the big mortars. Or whatever it may be. Of fireworks. We were just discussing how they're illegal here.
Certain ones.
And they have, apparently in Texas, they have like temporary fireworks stands that pop up in people's yards and stuff.
Some of them are.
Yeah. You want to jump in here or what?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a Saturday and I'm home.
I know. I don't know how much longer I got in me though.
You not do nothing.
I see, B. Actually, I'm kind of glad you're here because I got to pee.
Want to go pee?
I'm going to go pee.
Oh, my glasses are so dirty. Hi, Queen. Is it bacon in people's yards? Sir Marks a Lot said, yes, they have all kinds. They had all kinds, but now you can go to the firework warehouses. They have the big stuff.
The firework warehouse?
Warehouses. That's where they have the big stuff, he said.
There's a firework warehouse like right at the border of North Carolina, South Carolina. Because they're legal in South Carolina. You see my new wheels?
I did.
They look good, don't
Did she
they?
lose a molar?
She lost something in the back.
One of the bigger teeth back
Said
there?
she was eating and lost it.
She said it was hurting her the other day.
Our youngest did not get a bath. She fell asleep on her way here.
I'm not surprised.
The other two did. But our youngest did not.
Sassy.
Did you tell Queen where you went?
What?
She asked where you went. I said I didn't know. And I told her that I asked her if I should put a tracker on your truck to track you, and she said no. LOL. And I said, okay, I won't. What? You think I'm going to pay for a tracker?
You don't like government knowing anything about anybody.
This is very
so why
true.
would you put a tracker on any of our things?
I'm not going to. I don't use Siri because I'm too worried that she listens to me.
Like, he doesn't even have it set up on his phone whatsoever.
Nope. I sure don't. I believe in anonymity. Anonymity? Yeah, we'll go with that word. That's a big word. Was there a big storm?
Mm-hmm.
It was here, too.
went bowling.
Okay.
I went to watch people bowl. Because it hurts my back. Everybody's quiet down here. Nobody's doing anything.
Not right now.
No, they're not going to do anything it's to me tomorrow. Everybody does stuff around here.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's still got to go to work tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Sunday, though.
Yeah, but a lot of places are still open.
This is true.
We got a call earlier today asking if the restaurant was going to be open tomorrow. We got orders for 30 half chickens already for tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
So should we not eat there tomorrow?
It might be a good plan.
Might be best to not eat at your restaurant
Place
tomorrow.
of work, yes. Usually on Sundays we go eat where I work because then I go into work right after. But one, because we're more than likely going to be one of the only restaurants open.
Mm-hmm.
And two, we are one of the only barbecue restaurants open on Sundays. We are very packed on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping that we're busy in the morning or the lunch and like mid-evening and we get to close early.
You gonna close early?
Everybody's going to be on the lake.
Mm. That is true.
Or they're going to be at parties.
Yeah. So where do you want to go eat tomorrow?
I don't know.
Okay. I gotta go let your parents' dog out tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Before church.
Mm-hmm.
Queen said she did not get Whataburger that night.
What?
She said she did not get a Whataburger.
Oh, he needs to get his butt on here then. We need to find out what happened. This is bothering me now.
I've never had Whataburger. We have a Whataburger. I've never eaten there.
Can we tag him in the chat?
It's very possible, but I don't know how to do it. This late into it, I don't know. I know how to do it like in the beginning. I don't know.
We need to tag him.
I don't know how to do it now. I also did not do any research on StreamYard,
We've been so busy.
which is, the one that
It's
they
been
wanted
ridiculous. We've been so busy. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm. Let me go to the firework warehouse.
Our littlest one, my middle one, she's very sensitive to sounds and she does not like.
No, she does not do well in fireworks. She can do them from a distance, to see them.
She likes the look of
to
them.
see them go up and whatnot. She does not enjoy the sound.
She does not like the sounds. Which we could always get the earmuffs that we used when we went to go see.
When we went to race?
Yeah, the race, and when we went to Monster Jam.
Trucks.
Let her look at them that way.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing monster trucks right before COVID came out.
She loved it.
And our youngest was like, monsters! Monsters!
Shock. So she says shark now. Shock.
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 The shock!
Shock.
She did love the monsters.
They still like monster trucks.
2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. We usually get a little kit of fireworks. Like the little ones that we can get here in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The legal ones for North Carolina.
Like there's a tank sparkler. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we usually get those. And we usually set them. So our kitchen, we have like a glass door that looks out to our porch that's surrounded. So we usually set them out on the porch and run inside the glass door so that the kids can see them and semi hear them, but they're not loud. And they like doing that. Our middle one, Squish, she really likes that because she's not hearing it as much.
But we
she
don't
can
have
still see
explosions either.
Some of them can get pretty loud.
They can get like they
The
whistle
squawk-
and
yeah, they
still
whistle and stuff.
But they don't.
A few of them go up a little bit, not high. They maybe go up like 3 feet, but if that. I'd say a couple of them would go up 3 feet.
You think 3?
That's Sassy's size. They probably shoot up about 3 feet.
I don't know. Looks like a bush.
Sassy's about this. I mean, a
No,
bigger.
no, what I'm saying is the fireworks that we can get sort of look like a flaming bush.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah.
a huge sparkler.
Yeah. Oh, he used to go all the time and go get big fireworks.
In South Carolina, yeah.
He used to drive down and go get big fireworks. Because one of his best friends, they have a huge farm. Go set them off there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just set them off just to set them off.
We buried a mortar one time, and it blew up a bunch of mud. It made a big loud bang.
They're automatic.
Yeah, we got that too.
Yeah.
We can. Yeah, fireworks are illegal in North Carolina, but you can definitely shoot your guns off in there. Which makes absolutely no sense. Because now a projectile is coming back down. And you don't know where it's going to go. Whereas a firework is sort of, it disperses once it goes up in the air.
I get it because I get why the fireworks are illegal because it can catch a lot of stuff on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And you got kids that are stupid that are gonna set things on fire just to set
Do you know
things on
why
fire.
they're illegal in North Carolina?
No,
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, you can't buy them in North Carolina.
You can't have them in North Carolina. It's a misdemeanor.
Well, people set them off all the time.
Oh, I know.
Like, and seriously, like, the thing is like, well, the cops gonna go to that, or are they gonna go to, like...
A domestic violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to Google it since I'm out of the captain's chair. I'm going to Google it from my phone. What?
Say YR.
States. I already looked up YR, but I couldn't find the answer.
Well, it doesn't say why they're illegal in North Carolina.
It doesn't. It just says that they are.
We're probably one of the only states that they're illegal in.
There's a map.
Other green states, what they're illegal in?
Green states are legal
Oh.
There's blue and yellow. What is blue? Hold on. Permits.
Hold on. We'll pull them up. Yeah, because in like ball games and stuff, they can.
Yeah,
have
because you can have them in ball games.
All right, where you? Hold on.
So North Carolina and Virginia are both illegal.
Hold on. What states are?
There he goes. It typed it in.
This one.
That's the map I've got pulled up.
Okay. Which button do I use?
What are you trying to do?
Put it on the screen where they can see it.
So, why don't you maximize it?
I was going to.
There you go.
I just wanted to put it up.
There we go. Now they can see it.
Okay.
So we are blue. So permits, non-aerial, and non-explosive fireworks.
So that's all
Snakes
we can
and
have 'em at, like,
sparklers.
yeah, that's all we can have them at like baseball games and stuff. But they have to have a permit to have them.
So do you see that the red state is Massachusetts? And it says all consumer fireworks are banned.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the national fireworks are. Is in Boston. That makes no sense to me. Apparently they're illegal in New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware. Is that Maryland? Maryland.
Counties regulate Hawaii's and
Mm-hmm. Nevada.
Nevada and
That's Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. A lot of green there, though.
There is a lot of green.
Alright.
Which is nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice that a lot of it is green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of that's... I didn't know they were legal in Virginia. I don't ever remember seeing them in Virginia, but...
They're not in West Virginia, though.
No, not in West Virginia. Nothing's
Makes
illegal in West Virginia.
There's a lot illegal in West Virginia.
There's nothing illegal in West Virginia. Why are pit bulls illegal? Pit bulls aren't illegal, are they?
Where was it at?
Why are pit bulls illegal? It's the second one down. Pit bulls must be illegal somewhere.
Oh, I think it's just a...
Oh, probably like cities and stuff like that.
I think people are trying, like some people are trying to get them banned.
Yeah.
In some states.
Yeah. Oh, in the UK and in Australia. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes a little bit more sense. All right.
That's dumb.
That is kind of dumb.
We actually were talking about getting a pit bull.
We were?
You remember?
I know.
We were talking about it, but then you said you didn't want one.
Mm-mm. I did not want a pit. I didn't think it was a good idea. See, all these questions are fireworks legal? Not why are they illegal? Which makes no sense. Like they're not answering the question. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's a $500 fine and a Class 2 misdemeanor charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew it was a misdemeanor.
$500 fine, too.
Yeah. I don't think you can transport them either.
Yeah, You're
Well-
not supposed to.
Like, even if you're caught transporting them.
So, the ones that are legal
Can emit
emit
sparks.
can make noise but cannot propel into the air, and they cannot explode.
So snakes and sparklers. That's all we get. I'm gonna go ahead and call it at 12:30. Night, Queen.
Said that
We'll see you later.
we'll hand the sparklers to our kids, and the sparklers burn at 2,000 degrees.
2,000 degrees is hot.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure what metal what metal melts
16
at.
cannot legally buy or use fireworks, and that kid at the Dollar Tree was buying them.
Yeah, he was 9
9.
buying sparklers. Nine years old.
9 buying sparklers.
Mm-hmm.
All this says what is and isn't illegal.
Well, we already know what is and isn't. Snakes and sparklers are.
It's legal to sell or possess firecrackers, ground spinners, bottle rockets, Roman candles, aerial fireworks. Anything that explodes or projected in the air is illegal. Oh, glowworms.
I don't even know what a glowworm is.
Smoke devices consisting of a tube or sphere that can produce white or colored smoke. Trick noisemakers including party poppers, string poppers or snappers, wire sparklers.
I never thought of those as fireworks.
No. Well, I mean, it is like a puff of stuff inside of it, so
Like a confetti popper.
yeah. I mean, it does have like the.
Pull the string and it pops.
I mean, it does have to. You know what I mean? It does have like a.
Like a reaction.
Mhm.
I guess so. Oh, and those little poppers that you like throw on the ground and
Yeah.
make like a
Because that
pop.
is like a. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, also. No, she is a cook at a barbecue joint
And a lifeguard.
and a lifeguard. She saves lives in a lifeguard.
I'm not. I cook on a grill, and I am a lifeguard.
Good old lifeguards. Tis. I would like to brag to my friends. I haven't been able to. Be like, hey, made out with that lifeguard over there. made out with that lifeguard over there in the guard shack. That's never happened, but
His friends don't come to the pool.
no.
That's why.
I've never made out with you in the guard shack either.
No, I thought you were saying you just wanted to say, "Hey, I made out with that lifeguard," like as in like you've made out with me before.
Oh no, I want to be like, I want to do it like in the guard shack or something. Be like,
No, you can't do that. Then people be like
hey, I could like,
kicking us off the board.
I could just tell like random moms, hey,
See
made
that
out,
lifeguard?
made out with that lifeguard over there just a little bit ago.
These random moms not knowing that we're married. Because not everybody knows the pool that we're married.
I know. I think it'd be funny though.
Oh my gosh.
You don't think it'd be funny?
You're weird.
I'm not weird.
You are weird.
I'm a regular person.
You're weird.
There's absolutely no way. Anyways, I'm calling it at 12:30.
Alright, you've already said that.
Okay, 14 more minutes. Cause I've done got tired.
Mm-hmm. It was busy tonight. We were popping.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we didn't go over there tonight.
Were you planning on it?
No. No, but I'm still glad we didn't.
I'm glad you didn't too. Because you would have wanted a well done steak.
No, I wouldn't. If we would have showed up and I'd have seen how busy you were, I wouldn't have done that to you.
You do it on Sundays if you're there and I'm cooking.
It's different. You know, it's busy.
Yes, we are.
Oh well.
Just put it to you this way. We didn't stop. I didn't get to go to the bathroom until we were closing.
Really?
And I needed to go to the bathroom like really bad.
We rode by at like 8:30 or so. All the cars were gone. Except for like the employees.
Mm-hmm.
Was a good time.
Did you let the dog out? Is that what you were doing?
I did let the dog out.
I was going to text you and remind you, but I figured you could remember that.
Nope, I remembered.
Okay, good. Glad you did.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun.
He's not that bad.
No. It wasn't too bad. But how is everything in Kansas? If we lived in Kansas, every time we crossed the border, I would say, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
You and them daggone dad jokes.
You wouldn't have fun doing that. Because that lady, she's from Kansas. I figured you probably knew that by now.
I figured when you said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess the storm is gone. Was it still storming when you got here?
Mm-mm.
It was done.
Yeah, it was done.
I gotcha. So I counted the days until school starts back,
Did you?
and it was 56.
Wow.
Yesterday was 56. So today's 55.
I'm ready.
You ready for school to start back?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of am too. It's like we get back to a normal routine. You know, sort of know
Yeah.
what to expect, you know?
Yeah.
Mm. I'm not sure we got anything going on.
Mm-hmm. People are like popping in
I
and
know.
out. I think
Well, you want to go ahead and call it?
on me.
Okay. All right. Well, we will be back again next Saturday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.